Mike, I tell you, this one up here though, and let me turn off the signatures here and show you. There we go.
That one's been more impressive because it has also lasted a lot longer than we have seen for quite a while. And when the signature lasts that long, it has a lot more time, even if it's just a spin in the mid-levels or the upper levels, to make its way to the ground.
Yeah.
And that's why our biggest concern is now with that storm. Look at those wind speeds.
Yeah, and that's just the outbound wind. So it's crossing over, obviously, the land right now. Eventually, if it holds together, this is and explain again what a long track tornado is. You know, we've been talking about long track potential. Explain what that means.
Well, we saw long track tornadoes. If you remember back in 1998, people have asked about that. That was late February when that breakout happened, and those tracks stayed on the ground. I'll see if I can dig up that graphic to show you a little bit later, because I have a graphic showing you all those tornadoes that happened, and we did have a few that were long track, which means they stayed on the ground for quite a while, and they were some of them F2s or greater, and on the F scale they're EF 0s to EF 5s and greater, and normally we see EF 0s, EF 1s perhaps. We start to get EF 2s, that's a big deal here in Florida, because those are a lot more damaging. They got a lot stronger wind, and then they stay on the ground for a lot longer. They can certainly cause a lot more damage in a larger swath. Could even see wider swaths, because when they get up in the scale from EF 0 to greater, they can be even wider.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully nothing like the monsters in the Midwest, but these storms are looking like supercells out ahead of the main line that we often see in the Midwest.
There's another classic one.
Yep, there it is.
That one in Central Lake County is now taking textbook supercell. And, you know, I think back to 1998, when we had a pretty good tornado outbreak here. The setup, I don't believe, was exactly the same, but it was pretty similar, and we had long track tornadoes that were moving across the area, killed a number of people, and Mallory was loading that up for us.
She found that graphic.
Yeah,
okay,
she found that graphic.
Let's switch to that right now.
All right, so thank you, Mallory. Mallory Nichols also in with Mike Simon and Brian Carrick as we have Storm Team coverage. Digital producer Andrew O'Brien helping us out in the background with the warnings that are coming across the wire at this point. But wow,
this is going to zoom in.
Okay.
You see the tracks there, but as you get closer, it's going to populate and show you what the scale is of those particular storms, and also the time that they happen. Now, this event, unfortunately, was overnight, and that's what was the biggest problem. Even though it's dark now, most of us are still awake, but when this event happened, a lot of people were sleeping. That was the problem. It shows you how many deaths we had. See the one that happened with 25 deaths, went right through the northern part of Osceola County up towards St. Cloud. That one lasted a long time. Look at that stretch, all the way into the eastern part of Orange County. And that was an EF3. See how powerful it was. EF3 happened back in southern Lake County, went to northern Orange County for a long time. That was before midnight, and had 3 deaths out of that. And then an EF3, it was shorter, but it went through highly populated areas, Seminole County, and we had 13 deaths there. And then the other ones, once they made it to the East Coast, they were a lot shorter lived. So they weren't those long track storms that happened earlier in the event when we had those 2 that were extremely problematic.
Yeah, it looks like right now, Mike, we've got one of those storms that is actually creating a pretty good signature of rotation as it's moving over Eustis, heading on toward Paisley and Umatilla, and the concern is that it's dark, and that if there's anybody out the roads in these areas, they're not going to see this coming up. So if you know somebody that's out traveling, hopefully they're getting home or pulling over and putting themselves in a safe place, and it's away from windows, interior room, as many walls.
And sometimes a good indication of noticing a tornado, even in the dark, is if you see kind of little explosions of those boxes that happen around the power lines.
Yeah.
Get those junctures.
Transformers.
Yeah, you'll see them spark up, and that could be because of a tornado that's causing some damage already. And at night, of course, tornadoes, they're just wind. They're invisible, really, until they start to wrap around moisture and clouds and debris and that nature. And very difficult to spot.
Yeah.